Oh, shit. I just sat on this picture. Oh dear. Oops. Hey guys, welcome back to the studio. I know it's been a little while, but I have been busy. Happy New Year and Merry Christmas to you all. I hope you had a wonderful time spending time with loved ones, whether it was forced or not. It's still a great thing. Now, today, I've got something really exciting to share with you. It is a plugin based on Striiiings. Yes, I know that's probably easy from the title, but this one is an absolute doozy. I've been lucky enough to be given the chance to have a run through and to play around with the new plugin from Ujam. It's called Striiiings. I'm not exaggerating, it has many, many eyes in the middle. I'll show you in a second when we open it up, but it's incredible. This plugin is insane. I mean, I know I'm making a video about it and have been fortunate enough to be given a copy, but I'm not saying that lightly. I use these plugins and I reach out to these people based on the fact that I would want to use their product. And I've been waiting for a Striiiings program that is going to be knocking all the others out the park for a little while. Now, this one, I believe, is insane because we have the ability to do a few different things, but there is one setback, and I'm gonna jump into the negative first because once we get that out the way, it's all happy days. The first negative is, as a composer and as a producer, what we like to do is maybe have an instrument to then sort of design that instrument to play whatever part we want to play in the production. This is based on samples or pre-recorded things. So if one of the things that you want isn't quite what's already recorded, then you're gonna miss out a little bit. But that's okay. That's the only negative. Let's move on. The positives. We have lots of positives, and I will jump into the plugin to show you right away. So here it is. If we open it up, it's called Striiiings with 1, 2, 3, 4 eyes in the middle. Told ya. Now, we have, okay. Maybe oh no, this is the default. Okay, so this is the default one. Make sure I turn it on so we can hear it. This is the default layout. Now, a few housekeeping elements. Obviously, branded beautifully up the top here. We have some volume. You can make it bigger or smaller. You can get some information and la da 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 da. You can also create and use presets. Now, these presets are already built in. There's an introduction one, which gives you some very simple presets, different styled ones. So if you're after something in particular, like a sustain, maybe you can go full sustain. We're after something in particular, it's got it there already. Now on the interface, if we jump down the bottom, first and foremost, this is how it's played and how the MIDI reacts to it. So on the left here, we have a style, and that's customizable. We sort of selected it up here in the preset mode already, but you can then go ahead and use that preset and sort of change it. So these are all the types of, basically the types of phrases that have already been recorded, because this was, side note, recorded by Hans Zimmer, or the Hans Zimmer Orchestra, or the Hans Zimmer Space Rehearsal, da 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 da. Hans Zimmer. His name's on it. And if you know anything about Zimmer, look him up. So, Striiiings, Hans Zimmer, can't go wrong. We've got all of these ones that are pre-recorded by Mr. Zimmer and his orchestra, Her Majesty, da 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 da. We can change those and play around. This one is a sustain. We'll flip all the way over here. This is our play range. So this gives us, on the MIDI keyboard down here, this gives us the range we want to play. So I'm only going to play one note, C. Oh, how insane is that? Oh, it's so beautiful. Okay, so that trails off into the distance very nicely. But what we can do is change the phrase earlier phrases have basically less going on, and then the more closest you get to this end of the phrase, the more there is, more parts there are. It's more noticeable in bigger phrases, so maybe we should pick something dramatic. Um, Time is running, heavy bass. Let's go. Be alert. That sounds like a very appropriate title right now. And then we play the phrase. We'll start with the first one. The playing range is up a bit higher. So we move up. These little buttons up here are additions. So if you're playing something and you want to add something going along with it, it's very easy. I don't know why this is not working anymore. The old plug it back in trick. These buttons here end and stop proceedings. So if you want to, if it's carrying on, and you just want to stop it, you press stop. I don't know why that's not as simple as it is. I don't know why we've got a timing thing coming up on here, but welcome to the world of my computer. This also gives us the ability to provide a what I would call velocity wheel and then a crossfader between the low and high strings. We've also got that crossfader up here, so I'll play around with those three knobs and you can see what it does. So pretty self-explanatory with the crossfader and the velocity, but how smooth and seamless does it sound? And I just love how it's easily laid out. You can just click it around. You can also map the velocities here to the MIDI as well in your chosen DAW. Hopefully you can work out how to do that if it's not in Ableton. But for us, we just click on it and it creates an automation layer, and then we can go and do that. So normally what I would do is click just here. So I click on this crossfade here, sorry. I don't think these ones are done with the mod wheel, so maybe this one here, as we can see, changes the red line over here and we select crossfade. We can also choose a whole bunch of the different knobs to automate as well in the Striiiings plugin. So that's really cool. Like you can pretty much do it. You don't have to do it all in real time. Back down here again, bass notes. These bass notes can change as you're playing. So if we're playing a phrase, I can click and change the bass notes. If we don't know what key we're in, we can quickly snap up here and click the key, and it's going to keep us in that key no matter what we play. So let's go play something. Makes for a real nice variety. That's all played in real time. Same with the additions part. You just sort of add it in or play it along with the MIDI and stuff as well. You just choose which notes. They're all assigned to keyboard notes like you normally would with MIDI. So it's very easy just to layer stuff on each other. Yeah, that's a real simple one. Absolutely love how that bass note changes. That's really cool. As I said earlier, remember these phrases are pre-designed, so if there's something in here that you can't find that you don't like, that you want or you do like, it's very hard to recreate it. But there are ways of stripping things right back and trying to sample one part of it and then recreating it out of audio or resampling it to MIDI and reusing it. So the possibilities are endless. Now, let's jump up to the top end of the plugin. I know we sort of ventured up in the middle here, but each part of the strings has its own effects, and you can change them. So we just turn it on and off. That's very simple. They have character effects, which are boosts and various different things like distortions, harmonies, da 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 da. Let's just choose a megaphone just for the sake of it. This focus EQ allows you to put more focus on it in the mix compared to everything else. I'll bring this crossfader back to 0. So that would be more emphasis on the lower end of the strings. We would do the inverse on the higher ones and have less emphasis on them. It just takes away the presence or those frequencies that really stick out and make it prominent in the mix. So bring those back to 0, but I'll play around with all of these in a second. Motion effects, you're allowed tremolos. Well, you're not allowed. You can be given these to create with. Delays, filters, gates, etc. Now, in this strings section in the middle, or the string section in the middle, this highlighter button is like a DJ filter, so it sort of turns down and turns up as we go. So I'll sort of show you that in a second. The ambience is reverbs and spaces, so these all can give you different sounds, and then again you play with the dry wet there. This finisher button in the middle is really cool, and it has so many wicked effects. So have a drop down, have a play around. There's quite a few here. They go below the screen here that I'm recording, but they're also quite a fair few. So we can play with a few and see what happens. Neo super lo-fi, that seems pretty cool. Anyway, let's put some effects on and start playing around. I'm just going to hold one note on the keyboard and continuously play that note, and the phrase will keep ringing on, and then I'll play with all of these effects and show you what each one does individually. Wow, that was quite incredible. We nearly had like some sort of arpeggio synth type sound at the end there. And I mean, all the effects knobs were cranked right up to full, but you can see the kind of crazy customization that goes on within this plugin. It's really crazy, to be honest, that it's all coming from samples and pre-recorded sounds. It's like pretty mind-blowing. But it's none other than Hans Zimmer himself, as I've stated before, involved in this. And also, have a look, Boris. Good on you, Boris. Good on you, Boris. I mean, this is just insane. So, strings from Symphonic Elements and Ujam. Thank you guys so much. Now, exciting news, because if you stay tuned to my social channels, follow me on all of the different platforms, keep an eye out, because Ujam and I are partnering up to give you guys one copy of this wicked plugin for free. We're going to be giving it out. So stay tuned. How you're going to enter that, not sure yet, but it will be coming in the near future. If you want to check out any of Ujam's links to the plugin, have a demo version which you can try anyway. In the meantime, hit the links in the description of this video. Then I'll be able to take them for you, and you'll be able to take them and have a go at this plugin and basically transform your productions. As I said before, this is something that I wouldn't endorse unless I would use it, and I found myself using it quite a fair bit over the holidays, and I'm pretty in love. So if I'm honest, I would highly recommend it. Even though I've been given it, I'd still highly recommend it. So I don't say these things lightly. Anyway, thanks so much for watching. Hopefully there'll be another video soon on the channel. If not, see you again in a bit. But take care. Thanks for watching, and see you again soon. Bye.